Happy Veterans Day! Today at Mount Pulaski High School, we had the privilege of honoring all of our veterans. We also had the privilege of hearing from the families and actually one veteran in particular. Here are the videos about the 3 former graduates of Mount Pulaski High School that we celebrated today.
My name is Captain Corey Letterly. I'm a 2005 graduate of Mount Pulaski High School. I've been serving in the United States Marine Corps for 17 years. My current position is Chief of Contracting for 2nd Marine Logistics Group, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Forces. We're stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And what that means is I have a team of 30 Marines that provides all contracting and logistical support to deployed 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force units globally. Military can't always take the resources or manpower required to execute every single task and logistical support that they need as far as movements or purchasing power. My team will augment, send out in 1s and 2s, and help actually can purchase either supplies or hire companies to support military units globally. Since in the last 3 months, we have actually had teams out in Africa, in the Middle East. We've had multiple teams in Europe and in South America. I joined back in 2005. I enlisted and went in as a private first class. I wanted to test myself to do something that I perceived as incredibly tough, which it is. I wanted the opportunity to travel and learn new jobs and skills and to give something back to my country. I was able to do all of that. My family has lived in North and South Carolina. We've lived in California. I've been to Afghanistan. We've also my daughter lived in Japan with us for 3 years. It's given us a huge opportunity to travel and to see different things globally that I would not have had an opportunity any other way. Also have had the opportunity to do multiple different jobs in the military. Starting out with the military police when I first enlisted, and I worked in the military prison system and worked in one of the brigs. I was able to go to school to get a graduate and bachelor's degree. Was also able to fulfill roles as a supply officer and now into contracting. So I won't lie, it's been tough. It takes an unbelievable amount of commitment. Like I said, my family has been all over the world. My daughter had attended 4 schools by the time she was 5 years old. But it has been an amazing experience and a fulfilling and rewarding one. I wanted to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to be thinking of us. Unfortunately, myself and along with everybody else that's out here weren't able to be there and to talk to you personally. And thank you, Mr. Clark, for taking the time out to give us a chance to talk. Appreciate your all's time. Appreciate you thinking about us and taking the time out of your day to say thank you to the veterans and those other service members that are there with you right now. So if you ever have any questions about the military, Mr. Clark has my number. Please feel free to to give me a call or send me a message. So thank you. Bye.
I'm CW2 Justin Milner. I am a Mount Pleasant High School graduate. I graduated in 2006, where I joined the Army and became an infantry soldier. From there, I went to 1st Range Battalion as an infantry soldier, and after that, I became an AH-64 attack helicopter pilot. So on a daily basis, I usually come here to the Coughlin work, and we have the offices up here to my right, which we do all our planning and for missions and our daily flights. We usually fly 2 to 4 times a week for 2 to 4 hours, depending. And here on my left, you have all our extra equipment, extra hellfire racks, rocket pods, and doors and stuff like that. And then below that, you have our lockers to where we keep all our flight gear. And now we can go out and I'll show you the flight line. Behind me, you have the flight line. I'm part of the 1st Combat Aviation Brigade. And down here to my farthest to the left, you'll have the Chinooks. Then you'll have Blackhawks after them. And then closest to us on this far end, you'll have all the AH-64s, attack helicopters. And then also behind me, you can see the runway. That's where we take off. And then behind me, you also have the tower, which we would talk to before we take off. And now we will go in and I'll show you the actual helicopter. The AH-64 attack helicopter. I'm going to walk you through a few things on the helicopter. So to our left, you have the rocket pod. These hold 19 rockets each. And then over here you have our Hellfire missile racks. These will each hold 4, and you can switch these out as well. And on this is a dummy Hellfire missile, but I mean, this is the actual size of all of them. They just don't explode or anything like that. And then underneath you have our 30mm gun. And then on the front here, this is the TADS, which is our Target Acquisition Designation System. The front seater will use this to engage the enemy with all our weapon systems. And it can also use this to fly at night. The back seater will use the PINVIS, which is the pilot night vision system, and he will use that to fly at night. And now I will show you some things on the inside of the aircraft. All right, so now I'm going to show you the inside of the cockpit for the pilot and co-pilot. Each seat is different, has different systems. I'm just going to go over a few things that they use on a daily basis when flying. So this is the pilot cockpit, or the back seat as we call them. This is usually your more experienced pilot is flying back here. So down here you have what is called your HDU. You put this on your helmet like this, and it displays all the information to the pilot basically in his eye. So instead of having to look down at these multi-purpose displays, all the information he needs is in his eye. Then you have your cyclocam in front of you. This basically changes the pitch of individual rotor blades, so you can turn left, right, up, or down in all directions. Then you can also WAS your different weapon systems to use them. Then over here you have your collective. This changes the pitch of all 4 rotor blades at the same time, and basically can bring you more power in, bring you up or down. And then you have your power levers over here to your left. And now I will show you the front CPG pilot station. So this is the front cruise station, or what we call the co-pilot cruise station. So it's basically the same as your pilot. You still have your cyclic down there in front of you, and you have your collective over here and your power levers as well. The main difference is the front seater has, you can see the TDAC. He uses this screen to see the TADS and engage enemy. He uses these handles and the one over here, basically like a video game, to use the weapon systems. Okay, so now I'm just going to answer a few questions. Why did I join the military? Growing up, movies were always a big influence on me. Movies like Tears of the Sun, Saving Private Ryan. I just thought it'd be really cool to do a job like that, jumping out of airplanes. That also motivated me. Once I joined the infantry, I rode in helicopters a lot, and I just fell in love with the aircraft. So that is what kind of transitioned me to become a pilot. Also, growing up, my parents had a very, very big influence on me, telling me how privileged I was to be an American. And then going around and seeing other countries, I could tell I was very lucky to grow up in a country and having all the opportunities I have here. My mom used to always take me to memorial services, and it always gave me a great appreciation for those who came and fought and died before me. As far as high school things I remember, I would say just playing sports, the camaraderie with my friends, and just enjoying playing a game that I love was always a big influence on me. And you kind of get the same thing in the Army. You just, on a day-to-day basis, you're just spending time with friends. So those were always a big influence on me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see some of you as Army aviators in the future.
We are thankful for all of our veterans and appreciate your service to our country. Have an amazing Veterans Day.